What is up, everyone? This is a Personal Foul podcast. We are back, week 2. You thought maybe we're done after week 1? Wrong.
Hell no.
So alongside us, he's already loves cutting me off in these intros. 2 shows in, so
It's gonna be every
great.
week.
Every single time now, it seems like Phil's going to cut me off in an intro. But my co-host Phil Sit-Up. Phil, how the heck are you on your day off outside?
Day off. It's week off. That's right. I'm on vacation and I'm enjoying every bit of today and tomorrow. That's gonna be crappy the rest of the week, but that's all right. As long as I got some pool time, we got some NFL news, we got some baseball news. Take it away, Colton.
We do have some baseball news. I was at the Yankees game, so we're going to start off baseball. We're going to start off with some ball before we get into all the NFL cuts. That's kind of our show today. Talk a little baseball, and then we'll work our way into NFL cuts since today is the deadline, getting the 53-man rosters in. We have some surprise cuts, some big injuries that may play out here, so we'll touch on those. But we're going to start off with the historic season, the Triple Crown chase from Mr. Aaron Judge or Arson Judge. Phil, what are your thoughts on Aaron Judge? I mean, I'll get into mine. I saw him this weekend. I saw the 2 home runs from Judge, so I'll get my opinion on it in a little bit here. But your thoughts on the Triple Crown chase from Aaron Judge, again, historic from 99.
He's just in his zone right now. I mean, the guy is just absolutely insane. He looks like me at softball when I'm just cracking him over the fence every pitch. It's amazing. You know, he's in that kind of zone. He's shortcut, clear-cut MVP. I don't want to hear anything about Bobby Witt. Please get that garbage off right now. Bobby Witt is MVP? Stop. I don't care if the Royals make their little wild card or win their crappy-ass division in the Central, that terrible division with the the Guardians run now. Who cares about Bobby Witt? This is all about Aaron Judge. The man has nobody behind him. Maybe Stanton once in a while when he's healthy. Otherwise, he's got nobody behind him. He's got Soto in front of him. That's why Soto's having a great year. But that's not what Judge is just on another planet right now. Clear-cut MVP, and in the NL, Ohtani as well. The man's 40-40. What else can you say about him? Well, let's get back to Judge. You saw him this weekend. How was he?
It was impressive. I mean, my only hate with Judge, and I'm not going to go into it now. I'll hold it till that moment comes with Judge. But right now, it's historic what he's doing at the dish. He's one of the best in baseball for a reason. I mean, it's him and Ohtani as 2 of the best players in the game. There's no question about it. It all comes down to 99. So the fact that he's in the Triple Crown chase right now is incredible. He's second in batting average. That is where he's held up. I'm trying to think who's ahead of him right now in batting average.
I think it's Witt.
Is it Bobby Witt?
Yeah.
And by the way, the Guardians are first in the AL Central, and the Royals are second. So
right, they're close.
Yeah,
even if the Royals pull that out, I don't want to hear about Bobby Witt being MVP. Just stop her.
It is Bobby Witt. He's batting 347 right now, so that's gonna be a little hard for Judge. 347.
Oh Jesus, that's impressive.
That is impressive.
I think Judge is at 323 or something like that.
He's 333.
333. Wow, that's a hell of a year.
And then Vlad Guerrero is behind him at 321.
I don't want
to. And then we go to the bad National League this year with Marcell Ozuna with a surprise 307. But we'll stay on Arson Judge here for this one. But it's incredible what Aaron Judge is doing, Phil. I mean, I know you want to get into a little bit more on the Yankees, not just Aaron Judge, but the fact that
he's the main story right now.
The fact that he's doing what he's doing. I mean, is he the main story? The Juan Soto stuff's also a story. There's a report that came out today that it's going to come down to, from Jeff Passan of ESPN, said that it's going to come down to 2 teams for Juan Soto. And it's going to be the New York Yankees and it's going to be the New York Mets.
You're going to tell me the Dodgers aren't going to get involved in that somehow?
Oh, my God. If he goes to the Dodgers, I may, like how you say it's your favorite sport, I'm going to, never watch baseball ever again in my life if Judge goes there. Or Soto goes there.
Soto. Look, they need a right fielder. I mean, Teoscar Hernandez is not Juan Soto. Don't be surprised if they threw $600 million at him.
Yeah, how they pulling that off?
They got gobs and gobs of money. They print money like the Yankees do.
But the Yankees won't pay Soto.
The Yankees will pay Soto. Who they shouldn't pay is Garrett Cole. Did you see the news on that crapola today?
You sent me the report, and I know you said I got to talk about this. Make sure you bring it up for me.
Yes.
First, Phil, let me hear your thoughts on Garrett Cole.
That's been sticking in my craw all day as soon as I heard that. So Garrett Cole wants to opt out of his contract to obviously get more money. The Yankees would be extremely foolish if they even think about doing that. Why in the hell would you want to pay someone who already has a bad elbow, who's going on 35 next year, to another big, long contract? They don't need that. They need to sign Soto. Soto's 25. He's going to put him and Judge the next 10 years back to back. It's going to be an amazing run if you do something like that. I would not pay Cole. I'd say, you want to go to be a free agent? Go ahead. You go to the Mets. Bye-bye. Go die over in the Mets where all the great players go to die.
Yeah, we had some talk from the Mets fans this week. I've had my uncle blowing up my cell phone ever since your comments about the New York Mets, about Mark Vientos and what he's done. Now it's not a one-hit wonder.
Fluke
season for Mark Vientos.
Fluke.
Yeah, so, I mean, you mentioned about Shohei Ohtani, what he's doing with the Dodgers. Do you think it's, a guaranteed Yankees-Dodgers World Series? I mean, clearly the baseball world and the sports world would love to see those two win it. But do you think it's a certified lock for these two?
No, and I'll give you one huge reason on each side. The Dodger side, my air conditioner's running, damn it. On the Dodger side, on LA, on a short series, they could be beaten. They don't have great starting pitching. They don't. And they tend to fold like lawn chairs in the postseason. And on the Yankee side, you have Mr. Overmanager himself, Aaron Boone, who loves to outmanage himself out of a game. He does it time and time again. He's going to go 4 innings with Cole, bring in the bullpen, and then kill the bullpen for the rest of the series. I could just see him doing that. And so, no, it is definitely not a guarantee. 10 years ago, yeah, I'd say it would be. But the way they manage these games today, no, not at all.
What I find interesting here, and I'll give you my reason since I brought it up, I got to see Aaron Judge deliver in the big moments. I mean, he's a great, fantastic regular season player. When he comes up at the big moments, he comes up small, man.
Well, if you recall, 2 years ago before the big contract, they booed his ass in Yankee Stadium when he kept striking out in the playoffs.
Well, that's my point. That's what scares me with Judge. Like, I love him. I'm glad they kept him. There's no question that they were never going to let him go.
Yeah, they had to.
But what scares me is the big moments in the postseason. He doesn't come up big. That's what scares me. I'm hoping that's what I was kind of maybe going to wait to bring my point up. But now that we're talking possible World Series here with the Yankees and the Dodgers and what Aaron Judge is doing, I feel like it has to be talked about what Aaron Judge doesn't do in the postseason.
100%. He's been very, very small. And, I should have brought his stats up for that. But, I mean, he's not Mike Trout-esque in the playoffs, where Trout only has 1 hit in his entire playoff career. But, Judge has had a couple of moments. But in a huge spot, when the game's on the line, he has come up small. Game 7, Houston, 2017. Granted, he was, it was his first full year then. But he struck out time after time. We'll see how he does this year. It is squarely on his shoulders, though. If the Yankees are going to go anywhere, it's going to be on him. Let's just hope he doesn't fizzle out, early October.
He bats .211 in the postseason. Yuck.
Wow.
Yuck.
That's terrible.
He's got 36 hits in the postseason. 45 OBIs in 44 games.
What's his on-base percentage? I know I'm throwing analytics out there.
.310.
Wow, no, that's not good.
His slugging is .462. His OPS is .772.
That's piss poor. Yeah, he's got to step it up in the playoffs this year. No.
So I'm trying to remember the podcast. That I saw pop up on my Twitter feed earlier today. And it was about Aaron Judge. And it was kind of going back to all the Yankees since Old Timers Day was Saturday. And they had the 09 Yankee guys there in the championship. I got my celebratory the ring that they handed out Sunday at the game, so I got that. But
nice.
I forget the
podcast,
and it's a shame that it's a shame. Oh, I don't have it on me. I mean, it's upstairs. I'm not quick running upstairs to show off the ring. I mean,
you should.
But,
you should be prepared.
I do have one. I should be prepared. I mean, so this podcast I saw, and they were talking about Aaron Judge, And again, it's a shame I don't remember the podcast to give them a shout out on it, but they were talking about how Aaron Judge hasn't produced in the postseason, and like where does he fall again as an all-time Yankee? Is he going to go down as an all-time great player type of deal for the Yankees? And where does he lie on that pull of players because of the postseason success? I mean, for his credit, again, he hits these achievements and he goes, "I'm glad it came in a win," is what they were talking about in the podcast, where he is a team guy and wants to win. But the problem is he's got no hardware. So where would he fall all time if he doesn't end up winning anything?
Right now, you got to put him behind Reggie Jackson, who's only been there for 5 years. I mean, nothing was more dramatic than Reggie Jackson hitting the 3 home runs in 77. And he, like I said, he was there from 77 to 81. He was there 5 years. He went to 3 World Series, won 2 of them. Judge needs a playoffs / World Series like that. First of all, he's got to make a World Series, and it doesn't help that he's got Boone as his manager. He needs a real manager there. That would help, first of all. Because if they don't make honest to God, if they don't make the World Series this year, Boone needs to go. I mean, I can't deal with this nonsense anymore. There's no reason why they don't make the World Series. But that being said, Judge, he has no magical playoff moments yet. He hasn't been to a World Series. He's got to make at least a World Series before you're talking about as an all-time great playoff Yankee. You can't right now. Bernie Williams, much better than him. Jorge Posada, much better than you. Talking about 09 Yankees. All these guys were, head and shoulders above Judge, which is sad to say because Judge is my favorite player right now. But you got to put up or shut up, especially in New York. It's not like, this dirt merchant city next to us, Philadelphia over here, where, oh, yeah, we made the playoffs. Oh, whoop-de-doo. No, it ain't like that. It's win or go home.
Sorry to tell you that the Phillies have had better postseason success than the Yankees in recent
Lately
times.
they have, yes. They have lately. They made a World
Series last year.
They signed
sure
Bryce Harper. But have they won one? When's their last World Series win? 08?
Yeah, no, I think is
Yes.
it later? Is it 08 or is
They
it
haven't won one since. It was 08. They've been to a couple, but they've fallen just short, as typical Philadelphians do. That's right.
Alrighty, so
Yeah,
enough Yankees. I know today is the big NFL cut
Yes,
day.
let's talk about cuts.
We'll work our way towards the NFL here, and we'll start off with an injury and a big one. And we'll start off with a big injury here out of Green Bay. And you scared me for a second jumping on the show, and I'm going to act like you didn't do it. But the injury coming out of Green Bay, it is in the running back room, and is not the man that is there anymore. And Aaron Jones, as you mentioned. It would be A.J. Dillon, the man out of Boston College they drafted a few years back. He is done going on the IR with an IL with a neck injury, and he's done for the season, which opens the door for a full-blown experience of Josh Jacobs, their big offseason pickup from the Raiders. What are your thoughts on the injury, and what does it mean for Josh Jacobs and the Packers?
It's Jacobs' world now, but before we go any further, let's get something straight here. If we were to talk about sports, you need to understand which DL, IL, IR, all that. It's not the IL in football. It's the IR, injured reserve. It's the injured list in baseball. Can you get that straight? Do I have to carry you on everything in this show? Come on. Be professional, damn it.
Carrying me, as you mentioned, Aaron Jones, the guy coming here. You go,
Yeah,
Aaron Jones, you're not here about Aaron Jones? Okay,
well, he was there last year. Free agency screws me up. I'm old. What do you want from me?
Yeah. I know.
No, but
outside in the air conditioning unit popping on while we're doing a podcast as you hyped up all on your Snapchat this afternoon. Very professional.
That's right. If you're going to do it right. But no, I mean, it's Jacob's world now. And for you fantasy football freaks who are drafting this weekend, all of a sudden, Jacobs just goes flying up the list. Because, who else is that? They have that rookie. I forget his name. But, maybe he'll come in once in a while. But I think it's a huge blow to the Packers, and I think it solidifies them in last place in that division. I don't care what the hell Jordan Love did last year. That is a last-place team, without a doubt.
Wow, that's a hot take coming out of you.
Yes.
I think the Packers are actually going to be very good this season.
No, I disagree. That's a tough division. Extremely tough division.
Tough division.
Yeah.
The Vikings are going to be last place in that division. Are you drunk over there, Phil? I know you've
Why?
enjoyed your beverages and stuff.
I've had a few beers, but why
Yes,
would the
you
Vikings
have.
be? You have
Oh yeah,
Justin Jefferson, all world on
That's
that
great.
team.
That's great.
Jordan
JJ McCarthy's done for the season, and
Okay.
you have Sam Darnold throwing the football. Let's be real here.
Okay, he's not. He's not Zach Wilson, for Christ's sake.
He sure as hell isn't Jordan Love. Sorry to tell you.
I think the Vikings are going to surprise some people. I see them 7-10, somewhere around there.
Oh God! Thank God these are recorded, so I can clip these and come back.
Oh yeah. I want everything redone at the end of the year. In fact, I thought we were going to go over our list of predictions today, but we can save that for next week.
Let's say I was going to plan for that with next week with the season starts.
We'll do it next week before the season starts. Don't forget there's a Friday game next week as well. We got Thursday and Friday.
Sao Paulo, Brazil. Yes, we have the Packers and Jordan Love playing that Friday night. So in the Philadelphia Eagles. But again, we'll stay on
AJ
this.
Dillon won't be there.
And no, he will not be. I cannot wait to come back on this though with you. I cannot wait to come back and remind you that the Packers are actually be very good. No. And you think Minnesota is going to be good? Yikes! Good luck with that.
I don't say they're going to be good. I don't think they'll be in last place. I see huge regression from Green Bay this year. Huge regression. Their two big acquisitions were the running backs, and one of them's already done for the year. Did they improve their offensive line? No.
AJ Dillon's been there. What are you talking about? AJ Dillon's been there.
Dillon has been there. Dillon's been there. My bad.
Oh gosh, you've had too many. Oh boy, I don't want to embarrass my co-host because we're supposed to be talking sports here, and both seem knknowledgeable.
You embarrass me all you want. It's very rare when I make mistakes.
Well, you've
don't
made
forget.
2 mistakes
I know
already,
genius.
So.
You don't. Don't ever forget that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll remind you. I don't even have to go 7 weeks into the season. I'll have to probably remind you as the Vikings are 0-3 out of the gate. So
they probably will be. I would not be shocked if they're 0-3 out of the gate, but they're going to somehow be there. Not be there at the end. They'll somehow.
As you're twiddling.
There's too much talent on that team.
There's not a lot of talent on that team. So
you're telling me that's a 2-win team? Stop.
2 wins. Never said 2 wins, but they're finishing last in that division. I can tell you, it's not the Packers.
Whatever. They both suck.
Not the.
Can we agree on that?
I don't think the Packers suck. I think Jordan Love's very good. I think Jordan Love's very good. I'll remind you. So let's.
You think they're better than Detroit?
They beat Detroit twice last year. In case you were wondering,
that was last year.
That's great.
And I'll tell you another improved team in that division is going to be the Bears.
That
team is loaded with talent.
Yeah, they are. It's about time they decided to put some talent around their quarterbacks that they draft.
Exactly.
So we'll see. But again, I jumped on the Bears wagon last year. I'm not falling like an idiot this year. I think it's Green Bay, and I think it's Detroit, and the Bears are definitely an improved team, and it's Minnesota filing up in last. Again, we'll go over divisions and everything next week.
Yeah, we'll do that next week.
We'll continue on.
Senator Thomas will be here with my amazing predictions, and I'll even have a Super Bowl winner for you. That's right.
We'll make sure you don't have as many beverages going into next week because this has already been a rough go for you.
Why is this a rough go?
You're stumbling, bumbling over there. The AC unit's coming on. You're talking about Aaron Jones, who's in Minnesota. Yeah, we'll hopefully have a straightened up field next week.
Relax.
Just calling it how I see it, Phil. So we'll hopefully clear you up for next week. But again, continue on with NFL cuts today. Surprise few wideouts getting cut today. That would be one young joker, Kadarius Toney from the Kansas City Chiefs with his big Super Bowl performance a few years back has seen on a big decline with the Chiefs and Andy Reid not getting on his good side. And Tim Patrick, another big name, guy who's been hurt the last 2 years with ACL injuries in Denver. Denver was talking about possibly trading him. 4 o'clock deadline hit. Clearly no one came calling. Snip, snip, he's gone. 2 big names at the wide receiver position cut. What are your thoughts on those? And as we continue on with cuts, but what are your thoughts on those 2 bigger name wideouts getting cut?
Patrick's always been a bum. He's been nothing special. Who the hell cares? Tony, the guy can't catch a cold. How many passes were in his hands last year? The Detroit game to start off with. I mean, how many drops does he could have? I'm surprised he even lasted the year, to be honest with you. He should have been cut a long time ago. 2 guys that stink. They couldn't catch a ball in the outfield for the WBC. That's how bad those 2 are. No big losses. I'll tell you what's bigger news is Odell Beckham Jr. I almost said old dirty bastard.
Yes. You were
Odell
so
Beckham
sweet.
Jr. on the pup list for 4 weeks. That's going to hurt
Yes.
Miami coming out of
He
the
is
season.
he is out the first 4 weeks of the season. But my goodness,
Yes.
I can't believe you just did that. Oh my god.
What, old
You're
dirty
in rare
bastard?
form
I
today.
do not like ODB.
You're in rare
ODB,
form today.
OBJ, big deal.
Wow, talking about your own fins up.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. So other big news, Ernest Jones gets traded. The captain for the Los Angeles Rams gets traded to the Tennessee Titans. That is also another deal that happened this week. A nice pickup. It would be a 6th-round pick going to the Rams. The Rams receive a 5th-round pick, a 6th-round pick, and Ernest Jones going to the Tennessee Titans in a deal that strengthens up Tennessee's middle linebacker positions. They did just lose one this week. So continuing on with the cuts this week and trades, Malik Willis from an awful draft class with Kenny Pickett.
I don't mean to cut you
Desmond
off.
Ritter. Well, you are cutting me off, shocker. What do you want, Phil?
I'm sorry. I just want to go with the I almost called them the Redskins. With the Pro Football Washington team. They made a couple of nice moves, God. I think, in the past couple of weeks. They are a team definitely on the rise. That is a team I would be watching out for in the NFC East. But I'll talk more about them next week. I apologize for cutting you off. You may go back to continuing with your cuts.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're going to make sure you don't have any beverages going to the next show because you were all over the place today. So this could be an every week thing.
I'll be working next week.
Oh, God. So the Packers trade for, again, another quarterback and Malik Willis to back up Jordan Love, as we talked about the Packers a little bit before, as another awful draft pick from that terrible quarterback class. Continues on with Malik Willis, the Liberty Flame going to the Green Bay Packers. Go Pack, go. Any thoughts on that? And Desmond Ritter cut as well, from that Kenny Pickett class.
Yeah, it's just a lot of bums. These are guys that weren't going to do anything in the season anyway. Really, it's not like, Justin Jefferson getting cut or something like that. There's been no big salary cap issue. I mean, Tony, I guess, has been the biggest name, right?
Kadarius Toney. Tim Patrick's a bigger name than you think, sorry to tell you. Tim Patrick had really good seasons there.
Come on, I'm not getting
the last 2 years. The last 2 years he's been hurt. Outside of that, he's been very good for Denver. He's been very good, and he got paid. Sorry to tell you, he got like a 3-year. He got a 3-year, $81 million contract. So he was a very good player there for the Broncos.
Well, that just shows how bad Denver is for cutting them. Then that's an atrocious job. Elway's still running that team. That's terrible.
Elway is still running the team, and Sean Payton. In other news, as far as the Broncos go, they named this past week Bo Nix their starting quarterback for this upcoming season. Are you shocked that they went with Bo Nix this early in starting him? I know he had a lot of experience, a lot of ball playing at Auburn and Oregon in college. He had a lot of years in college. Are you shocked out of the gate he's starting this fast, the 12th overall pick?
Yeah, I actually am. I'm very, very surprised they threw him right into the fire because Stidham played well, I thought, toward the end of the year last year. And Zach Wilson, they have him there as well. So I was kind of surprised they threw him right into the fire. You don't want to see him fail right off the bat because, the Bronco fans, they're tough. They're going to be calling for Stidham right off the bat if, Nick starts to suffer. I get why they did it. Like, hey, you're the 12th pick. You're going out there. But I thought maybe a little too much pressure early on. I could see him, having the game catch up to him. And then as the season goes along, he'll progress. Denver may be done by then. That's the problem. But that's what you take a chance on when you draft your franchise quarterback like that. By the way, did you see the video with Wilson and Stidham commenting on not being the starting quarterback?
I did not, Phil. Enlighten me.
It was I was really shocked by it because Zach Wilson was very gracious, stating that, oh yeah, he deserves it, blah, blah, blah. He said all the right things. And then they interviewed Stidham, and he was like, "Oh, I should be the starting quarterback. I know my abilities. I thought I should have had the job." I thought it was very, very refreshing to see. You know, you don't hear the same old crap, you know, like Zach Wilson says all the time. The guy was honest, and that's why I like, you know, you want to hear that. I thought it was, you know, good for the game.
Good for the game and all shitty Denver. Thanks, Phil. Thanks for the wonderful information on the Broncos. No one seemed to care about today. But yes, I find it interesting that they did start with Bo Nix. The problem is you invest your first pick into him, unless you pull Dolphins and take him out and throw Fitzmagic again where it doesn't really matter. But I found that really interesting because the thing is you go to Bo Nix, you can't go away from Bo Nix. Like you have
you can't.
So if he struggles, like you can't really pull the abort button on him now. You have to play him and let him get out his growing pains. So I found that interesting that they started him this soon. But again, we'll be seeing a lot of those first-round quarterbacks as Jaden Daniels has been named the Week 1 starter for the Washington Commanders, or whatever you were calling them, the Redskins, the Washington football team.
The Washington football team. They should have kept that name. I love that name. The football team.
The old names that you just cannot get the current name, but that's fine. That's all right, Phil. We'll
I still call them the California Angels. That's how bad I am.
Shocker. Not surprised from you in the least. So we see those two quarterbacks. Clearly, Caleb Williams gets a go for the Chicago Bears. So it's going to be an exciting season as far as the rookies, and something we haven't seen in a little bit because the rookie quarterbacks have sucked over the last few drafts. So the fact that we have this draft class with Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, we'll see what happens with Drake May, and then you clearly got Bo Nix there in Denver. So it's gonna be nice to see what these three quarterbacks do to start off the season, and then whenever we do see Drake May in New England. So,
well, see, it's funny because I agree with you about not starting Nix, but with the Patriots, May's looked good this preseason. I don't know why the hell they're staying with Brissett. First of all, I don't know why Brissett's on any football team. The guy stinks. He's terrible. I mean, my God, he's awful. What are you starting the season with him for? I would go to May right off the get-go in New England. It's a brand new start there. Belichick's gone. Start fresh. Throw May right out there and just start a new legacy, so to speak.
Well, I think it's the same situation that we're kind of surprised with Denver, and as your air conditioning unit pops up again, Phil, thank you for that. You asked that. Oh God, this guy sucks. I had to pull the plug on him. I had to. So yeah, so Bo Nix gets to start out there in Denver, and Phil again is off his game today. I cannot wait for him to listen back to this and I was off my game today. So he's definitely off his game because Bo Nix has actually had a really good preseason, Phil. So when you decide to go back and watch some Denver tape from this preseason, you'll say, oh, yeah, Bo Nix actually has looked really good.
I don't care how good he's looked against a bunch of fourth stringers. I would have
hasn't been fourth stringers, and Drake May hasn't looked nearly as good as Bo Nix. Sorry to tell you.
I understand that, but there's two different legacies. You have Sean Payton in Denver, who needs to win. Last year was an abortion for him, especially when Miami trounced him. What was it, 73-3 or whatever the hell that game was? That was abysmal, and they never recovered from that. That's why I thought they would start Nick slow, build him up, start Stidham for a couple of games, wait till he shit the bed, and then bring Nix in. That would have been the smart play. With May, that's full season go. I mean, Brissett is awful. I hope Miami plays New England early just to beat the hell out of them. They're going to beat the hell out of them anyway. The Patriots stink no matter what. They're not as bad as the Jets, but they suck.
So, yeah, you're definitely off your rocker today because I would definitely
How am I off my rocker?
I'm definitely not starting him in New England, Drake May. Not even close. Who's he throwing the ball to? Please remind me who he's throwing the ball to.
That's a good question.
Thank you. Retired. Thank you. All right. My point exactly.
Hunter Henry.
You're not throwing him in there no. Are you talking about Gesicki, by the way, the former Dolphin? Yeah, no, he is not there. He is now in Cincinnati.
No. Devontae Parker, who I hated. I hated that pick at the time. I hated him as a Dolphin. I couldn't wait for him to leave. I'm glad he ended up in New England doing nothing.
Well, no one cares about the Dolphins at this moment, Phil, because we were talking about the
Patriots. I care, damn it.
Yeah, well, no one else does, Phil. Sorry to tell you. But anyway, yeah,
The
so
hell of a
Drake May, I'm
ridiculous.
not playing him because who's he throwing to? So the thing is, again, once you start him, you can't go off of him. So if the experience is bad out of the gate for Drake May, you're stuck with him. And he's throwing the ball to Kendrick Bourne. That is about it, and Hunter Henry. So I'm not doing that to Drake May out of the gate. I'm letting him sit and watch Jacoby Brissett, who's a solid backup in this league. So and let him learn, and then eventually throw him in when it's time for Drake May. Let's go, first round pick. Let's get him in. But I see we have total different opinions. I think Sean Payton is like in a must win situation. He's been given way too
Exactly.
much time. You wanted Russell Wilson, you get him. They paid him way too much, and ended up cutting him. And now they're on his bill this season. That he's on their wage bill this season. Russell Wilson in Denver. So I think it's you drafted Bo Nix. That is the guy you wanted. It's go time. Let's see him because you don't got much time here, Sean Payton. Like if this is an epic failure and Bo Nix falls flat on his face, doesn't have any like sign of improvement at the end of the season, we're like, okay, this is a starting quarterback in this league and we can work with this. Yeah, I don't know how much time Sean Payton has there at Denver.
Which is why you should have started Stidham over Nix.
Oh yeah, Jared Stidham. Yeah, if your ass is on fire on a job, I'm not starting freaking Jared Stidham. Sorry to tell you, Phil.
All right, so Nix stinks. He gets destroyed the first few weeks. Who are you going to go to? Wilson?
It doesn't
Stidham?
matter. His
You're
job's over
regressing
anyway.
at that point.
Then his
You
it
need to
doesn't
kill
matter.
the fan base.
Who cares? His ass is in the jackpot already. Then who cares? He screwed it either way. At that rate, burn it down, just like they burnt the seats in there a season or two ago at Mile High. So screw it. Why not? Exactly my point. I'm starting Bo Nix if I am Sean Payton because my ass is in the jackpot. So it's exactly what I'm doing. But
well, speaking of quarterbacks, who's starting for your team, Mr.
No
Steeler?
announcement made yet. No announcement made yet. No comment yet. I will not.
Oh, no comment. All right, let me rephrase the question.
No comment.
Who do you want to see starting?
Well, that's two different questions. I would like to have the best quarterback play, so whoever that may be. So.
Oh, for Christ's sakes! What kind of BS answer
I'm
is that?
I'm giving you political answers.
Who do you want to see start?
Phil, I am gonna trust the Pittsburgh organization playing the best quarterback week one.
All right, you're Colton Gesser. You work hard. You're going to pay your hard-earned money to go to that decrepit city called Schittsburg. You're going to go watch the Steelers play. You want to see your quarterback. He's coming out of the tunnel. Who is it?
Russell Wilson.
Oh, get the hell out of here. Sign me off. I can't deal with this anymore. Oh, my God.
Well,
are you kidding me?
Sorry to tell you, Phil.
Russell, you want to see Wilson? You just killed him in Denver 2 seconds ago.
I didn't kill him. Russell Wilson had 28 touchdowns in Denver. Sean Payton killed him and wanted to run him out of
interceptions.
No, he had 28 and 8. Sorry to tell you. Or actually, it was 26 and 8. That's where the 8's coming from. 26 touchdowns.
Then why did they suck so bad?
Because it's Sean Payton in Denver. It's not Drew Brees, and they're playing in a dome every single week. So sorry to tell you, that's part of the problem. Sean Payton's
well, then why did they trade Wilson if he was so good?
They cut him because Sean Payton didn't want him anymore. That's kind of part of the problem.
Why?
I couldn't tell you why. Sean Payton's not a good
no
coach.
good. He's done. He's
no
toast.
Good. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, he's not toast. Sorry to tell you. You got to play some good ball in Pittsburgh. Sorry to tell you, Phil.
Speaking of last place teams, I can't wait for my projections next week. I'm going to slaughter your Pittsburgh Steelers. I can't wait.
Phil. You'll never learn,
That's
Phil.
right.
You'll never learn. So, and again, final breaking news of the week before we wrap up the show. CeeDee Lamb gets his bag. CeeDee Lamb gets his big contract. Fantasy owners relax around the world. CeeDee Lamb will be dressing up for the Dallas Cowboys this season. He got his money.
Yeah, and you knew that was going to come down the pike because Jones does this to everybody. I mean, he did this way back with Aikman and Emmitt Smith. He makes them wait, and then he signs them right before the season. Almost like he doesn't want him to play preseason. He did it to Elliott a couple of years ago. I did it to Dak a couple of years ago. It's his MO to do this. He's always done that. The other big news, Jamar Chase practicing, no contract. Well, he is signed to a contract, but he wants to be extended. So fantasy owners, yes, Chase has been playing. And speaking of fantasy,
Go ahead,
Chase
Phil.
has been practicing. Did you know that?
Go ahead, Phil.
All right.
Yes.
Speaking of fantasy, I had to hear you yap last week about Alex Highsmith and a top 10 DL. So I got my little list here ready.
Oh, you're ready to roll,
10.
not stumble and bumble? Okay, go ahead, Phil.
No, I'm not going to stumble and bumble over this. All right.
You did last
So,
week.
yeah, all right. Well, you caught me off guard. I didn't know we were going to rank the worthless defensive linemen across the league. But so I said Micah. I admitted my own guy, Bradley Chubb, and I admitted my other own guy, Jalen Phillips, who both got torn.
You never mentioned either of these guys, by the way. You did,
exactly. I forgot to mention them. It's a bad job on my part.
Well, sorry to tell you, none of them are getting in there. None of them are in top 10 guys. Sorry to tell you.
Well, neither is Highsmith.
He is. Sorry to tell you. Numbers prove it.
That stinks. Hassan Reddick is better
Continue
than him.
on your list. Continue on your list.
All right. Hassan Reddick, Montez Sweat, both the Bosa brothers, if they stay healthy. That's a big if, because those guys can't stay healthy to save their lives. Christian Wilkins, who's a monster.
He plays on the interior. He's not an edge rusher. Come on, Phil.
Oh, we're just doing edge rushers? I thought we were talking about all defensive linemen.
Yeah, no, we're talking edge rushers here.
All right, so if we're just doing edge rushers, I mean, you could throw in Van Stinkle, who's now on Minnesota.
Oh, God. All right, we're done. We're done. Oh, my God, you're off.
Please.
Oh, boy. I thought you were a lot better than this. This is why I started doing the show with you. I thought, Phil's got great minded football takes, and we're already off to a shit start 2 weeks in a row. So,
wow.
On that note.
Wow, how dare you slaughter me like that? I've been carrying this.
You have not been carrying this. You come on here with a list, and your list is still off. So, sorry to tell you, Phil. Well, folks, another shit week from Phil Sitta, but this is another week of the Personal Foul Podcast. Appreciate you guys for listening. Next week, we'll give you our NFL predictions for the season and whatever other breaking news comes along with the NFL. So appreciate everyone for listening, tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. And again, we'll be back again next week. Give us a follow, subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, and appreciate everyone for listening. I'm Colton. That's Phil. See if he gets on the wagon again next week. Because off his game again, back-to-back weeks. Shit show from Phil. Shocker.
Dr. P. That's right. That's right.
That's right. I'm Colton. That's Phil. Appreciate you for listening to the Personal Foul Podcast. And we'll be back again next week, next Tuesday. We'll be tuning in live, giving you our NFL predictions ahead of week 1 of the NFL. Appreciate you for listening. Follow us. Subscribe. Make sure you listen to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. You find it, you name it, we're there. So make sure you tune in. Personal Foul Podcast. Appreciate you for listening.
Cheers.